Good morning. Today we are going to discuss about in Unit 5, 8051 serial port. There are two types of communication. One is about the parallel communication and other one is about the serial communication. So already we have discussed about the parallel and the serial communication in the Unit 3. But anyway, it is just a refresh to you all. So what do you mean by parallel communication? So the parallel communication in the sense, it is going to transfer one byte at a time or more. Okay, it is basically a faster and but the distance cannot be the great, but it is very costly, very expensive. For example, we can give the printer, whereas the serial communication, here the example we can quote as the telephone lines. For long distance also it will be communicated and then it will be a very cheaper one. At a time, one bit of data can be transmitted from the sender to the receiver. Basics of serial communication. A serial data communication uses two methods. One is called as the synchronous method and other one is called as the asynchronous method. First of all, we want to know what do you mean by synchronous method. The synchronous method in the sense which transfers a block of data at a time. Whereas the asynchronous in the sense which is going to transfer a single byte at a time. That is the major difference between the synchronous communication as well as the asynchronous communication in the serial data communications. There are special ICs made by many manufacturers for the serial communications. IC stands for the integrated circuits. One is called as the UART, Universal Asynchronous Receiver Transmitter. USART, the other one is, which is called as the Universal Synchronous Asynchronous Receiver Transmitter. This USART already that we have discussed in the Unit 3. So other one is, there are three ways of communication. One is about the simplex communication and other one is the duplex communication. Now, already people are familiar with that. Simplex in the sense there is one way only all the time. It is one time. Okay. So always the direction from the sender to the receiver, only one direction. Whereas the duplex in the sense, two-way communication but not at the same time. If sender is transmitting that information to the receiver, the by the same line only the sender can transmit. But at the same time, the receiver only has to receive that information. In case if the receiver is transmitting that information to the sender cannot able to transmit at a time. So at a time, either the sender can transmit an information or the receiver can transmit an information. Whereas the third communication, which is called as the full duplex. The full duplex in the sense, the data which is going to be transmitted both the way at the same time. There are separate lines will be there. So if the sender would like to transmit, you can use that line to transmit that information to the receiver, whereas the receiver also can transmit that information to the sender. So these are all the three communication system: simplex method, half duplex and the full duplex method. Next, asynchronous. So asynchronous, which is called as asynchronous serial data communication, is widely used for the character-oriented transmissions. The start bit is always 0 and the stop bit which is always called as 1, the 1 which is called as the high, whereas the 0 which is called as the low. For example, suppose if the sender is going to transmit that information, the sender which is going to send the ASCII character A, 8-bit binary number 01000001 is going to be transmitted. So this is the line. So here the 0 is called as the referred as to a space, and then here stop bit and the start bit will be here. So based on the start bit, that exact number will be 1000000. So 1 in the sense it's leading raising that high edge, and then 0 in the sense it's all in the down, and then again 1 in the sense it is the rising edge. Okay, in that way only the asynchronous is going to transmit it. So data transfer rate. The rate of data transfer in serial data communication is stated in bits per second. Another widely used terminology for bit per second, which is called as the baud rate. Already people have studied what is the definition of the baud rate. It is the modern terminology and is defined as the number of signal changes per second. So in 8051 serial port, we are having synchronous and asynchronous transmission. SCON register is used to control data transfer through TXT and the RXT. TXT stands for the transmitter and RXT stands for the receiver. Sometimes the clock through TXT pin also will be activated. There are 4 modes of operation: mode 0, mode 1, mode 2 and the mode 3. Mode 0 it stands for the synchronous serial communication. Mode 1 for the 8-bit UART with timer data. Mode 2 stands for the 9-bit UART with set data rate. Mode 3 for the 9-bit UART data for that. Registers related to the serial communication: SBAR, SCON register, BCON register.